What's up, guys? Stas here. Hope you're all doing great out there. So we got some news last week that Chinese stocks could potentially get delisted from the U.S. stock market if they don't comply with these certain rules. And that actually sent down a lot of Chinese stocks, including Alibaba, JD.com, Tencent, Baidu, Luckin Coffee. Although, Luckin Coffee was getting crushed before, it went down even further on Friday. So many of these stocks are under pressure, and I want to go over in this video what's going on right now in Congress, my thoughts on these Chinese stocks, and we'll also break down some charts to see what the technicals are telling us. And I also want to share what the stock market futures are looking like right now when it comes down to the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow, and in general, what stocks I'm watching heading into this short week, as we do have Monday off because it is Memorial Day tomorrow. So I hope you guys do enjoy your off day, and let's just get right into it. So last week, S&P 500 was trading in a range. If you guys watch the markets, you know this. When it comes to the SPY here, it's a very big S&P 500 ETF that many people watch to kind of gauge the market. You can see that it held 291, 292 on the 19th of May, as well as the 22nd, right? So double bottom there, and it seems like we topped out at about 297. And when we drag out to the 20-day chart, that makes sense because we can see the S&P has been trading in a range pretty much from 292 up to about 297. And take a look here. We actually held above 295 at the close of the market on Friday, which is a very good sign for the bulls, right? So what that's telling me here, especially with the futures being up right now, which we'll get into in a minute, it's telling me that the S&P wants to push up. SPY here wants to push up to maybe 296, 297, and if it breaks out of 298, guys, we may be going up to a 3,000 S&P, as that would be a breakout spot, right? And going over to the SPX, you guys can see, right, if we break 3,000, there's a lot of potential to 3,100 based on these charts, right? And take a look. The S&P futures right now, not up a lot, but they're up 0.43%, up about $13 here. And notice how we pulled down. We held 29.20 as a support at a higher low on top of that 50 SMA. That is very good for the bulls here. And if we see a full-on breakout of 3,000 or more like 29, 70, 80, right? That could be a huge bullish sign for the markets, and it could honestly push the markets higher in the short term. And when it comes down to the NASDAQ, up 0.45% right now, up $41, and you're seeing the same bullish technical sign on the 4-hour chart as the S&P. We pulled down higher low on top of the 50 SMA. Now we're rallying back up. That is a very good sign at 94.50 on the NASDAQ. And when it comes down to the Dow, up 107 points, up 0.44%. We're under a major resistance on the Dow at about 24,800, but if you take a look, if we stretch out this trend line right here, you can see actually the Dow held 23.6. It held the 50 SMA and the 180 SMA at a higher low. So if we break 24.8, like I've been saying on this channel, guys, and the green futures are a good sign here to show that we might do that, there's a lot of potential in the Dow. We may be going back up to the high 25,000 level, maybe even 26,000 here on the Dow Jones. So overall, that's what the markets are looking like. That's what the futures are looking like right now. Very quick recap. So let's get into what these Chinese stocks are doing. Let's quickly look at them first, then I'll go over a bunch of notes here in my phone regarding to some details around this bill, right? So you can see Alibaba was $220 per share last week at some point, I believe. You can see it here. I believe this was on Wednesday. The news came out, $220. Now we're at $198. So the stock lost about 10%. That's no joke, guys. That's a pretty big amount on a company that's worth billions on billions on billions of dollars, or as Trump would say, billions on billions, right? And if we take a look at JD, right? JD was down about 5% Friday from $57 on the 19th, 20th, right? So that's insane. JD has shed about 12%. When it comes down to 10 cent, I always mess up their ticker symbol here. Ah, crap. What is it, like THE? Either way, we don't have to look at 10 cent, but they're down as well. What other ones here? JD or Baidu rather, BIDU. Baidu is down 6% Friday from $120 in the past couple of days. It has lost about 13%, and we all know Luckin Coffee, they got crushed. Their stock was actually not trading for a couple of weeks. They had an accounting scandal a couple weeks back when they botched revenue completely. They put down like 20, I forget the numbers exactly, but they completely lied. They completely fabricated numbers. This stock's gone from $51, guys, down to $1. So if you invested anything, I'm really sorry, guys, if you got caught in this stock. Seriously, it's a crappy situation, but you're pretty much down like 99%, which again is a crappy situation, but it's the reality, right? And it's the reality of the stock market, and investing in foreign companies that don't really have to comply to the same rules as many United States companies, it's risky, guys, because a lot of these Chinese stocks, we'll see here, they don't have to comply to the similar rules, and if this bill passes, it's going to change a lot of stuff. So the U.S. Senate passed legislation on Wednesday, and notice again, that's when all of these stocks pretty much dropped, that could restrict Chinese companies from listing on American exchanges or raising money from U.S. investors unless they abide by Washington's regulatory and audit standards. The bill requires companies to certify they're not owned or controlled by a foreign government and requires the SEC to bar companies that haven't opened their books to the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board, also known as PCAOB, for 3 consecutive years. That's very key. If you guys missed that, rewind it. That is very critical, right? If a company can't show that it is not under such control, or the PCAOB isn't able to audit the company for 3 consecutive years to determine that it is not under control of a foreign government, the company's securities would be banned from exchanges, right? If Chinese companies want access to the U.S. capital markets, they must comply with American laws and regulations for financial transparency and accountability, right? And let me see. I think there's some more notes here. But either way, guys, this bill passed the Senate. Now it's potentially looking to pass the House. And if it does pass the House and Mr. President Trump lets it go through, obviously he signs it, this could end up knocking a bunch of Chinese stocks out. And the truth is, I don't think that that's going to happen necessarily. You guys have to realize it's very complicated. A lot of these major funds out there, like BlackRock, major funds, they own a lot of ownership in JD.com, in, let's say, Alibaba. I don't know exactly the stocks, but they own a lot of ownership in some of these Chinese companies. Companies like Microsoft, Amazon, I believe Apple as well, they also have investments in some of these Chinese companies. So think about it, if a lot of these stocks or these major funds completely dump their stocks, obviously the price would drop a lot, but I don't see it happening, right? I don't see it happening, at least for the big dogs out there, like Baba, Baidu, Tencent. Maybe, Luckin, they're completely screwed. Let's be honest. They're completely screwed. But a lot of these other stocks, I think they're going to be fine here in the short term, or rather in the long term. But in the short term, they're going to be under pressure. I think there could be some short opportunities here, especially since Baba broke 205. We could be filling the gap down to, let's say, 190 based on these technicals. JD.com could maybe fall down under 49. It could definitely fall down under 49 if it breaks that critical level of support. So in the short term, guys, these stocks are going to be very volatile due to Congress going through the bill, right? Or this bill trying to pass through Congress. And any pieces of news that come out could end up sending the stocks down. And quite honestly, the opposite could happen as well. If we get news that this is not going to pass through, do not be surprised if JD's right back into the mid-50s, if Alibaba is right back into the 220s, 230s. I would not be surprised. And quite honestly, I'm waiting for either or scenario. And I'm leaning towards the bounce back scenario. I don't really think they're going to get delisted, guys. It's possible, but I don't know. I'm just not really seeing it happen. I'd love to know what you guys have to think down below as always, but that's just some news in general when it comes down to these stocks here and these Chinese companies. So for me heading into this week, other than the Chinese stocks, some other stocks I'm watching are going to be Nike, ticker symbol NKE. We talked about this last week. Once we broke 91, that was a very bullish sign, right? We filled the gap up to about $94. Now that we're kind of struggling at 94, I'd like to see some bulls come in to get us out of 94, and at that point we might see some potential up to, let's say, 96 to $97 here on Nike. On Friday, we saw SPCE, Virgin Galactic, have a 7% day. If you guys didn't know, there's a lot of selling when it comes to Virgin Galactic. Virgin is selling shares out of this company to help the airline company, which is under a lot of pressure, as is a lot of companies out there, mostly airlines, cruise lines, companies like that. So in my opinion, that obviously caused pressure on the stock from 21 down to about 14. And now that we're trying to push back into 16, and a lot of the selling is behind us, right? A lot of it, if not all of it, I think there could be a recovery, right? Now that the dust is slowly settling, there could be a recovery, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for here when it comes down to Virgin Galactic. And if you guys have been following tech, Facebook has been on an absolute tear ever since they reported earnings, ever since they announced this Shopify partnership, Shopify button that's trying to turn, I believe, Instagram's pages into storefronts. So this is a pretty interesting concept here. I'm assuming that if you go on Instagram, right, you go on somebody's page, you'll be able to buy directly through Shopify on somebody's Instagram page. Is that kind of what's the partnership here could be? If so, I think that's kind of smart. And we're seeing Facebook fly up. We're seeing Shopify fly up. Another one is NVIDIA. NVIDIA's breaking out right now. If we break out of 363, 365, there could be a lot of potential above there. And you guys know I'm in a gold ETF position right now, which is GDX here, a gold miners ETF. I'm long GDX. I'm long gold. I think it's going to do well here in the short term, and I'm looking to buy this dip. I already did buy the dip. I'm looking to maybe even buy more here on Tuesday heading into this upcoming week. So overall, guys, quick video today. Quick video. I'll probably make another one tomorrow to go over some updated thoughts, some updated stocks there. But I just wanted to get some news to you guys when it comes down to these Chinese stocks, my thoughts, and go over kind of what's going on right now. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, I love talking to each and every one of you guys. And if you guys actually want 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $1,400, check out my link down below in the description box. All you have to do is put in $100 into the account and you get those 2 free stocks. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for all the support. As always, stay safe out there. Peace out.